I
Like I
am
said,
ready to go
Sean,
live.
I was born ready to go live.
Sweet.
Although I don't see it showing up in the thing. It it says, oh, there it is.
Yep.
Watch live.
Oh, hey.
All right. Cool. I'm going to skip the ad. All right. Cool.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the pre-show.
Hey, my head is so much larger than yours, but I can't back up any farther because this is the extent of this room.
I can get closer. And
nah, that's okay. That's okay.
No. I'm done. It's happened. We're doing this. We're doing this. Can you?
This is what happens with facial hair when you wear a mask all day and you don't know that anybody's ever going to see you. So
right.
Speaking of,
yeah, I shaved.
Clean shaven Sean.
Yeah, I'll talk more about this, but basically, I was filming something for an upcoming video, and it required shaving. So, yeah.
All right. Well,
now I'm taller than you, though. I'm gonna even this out a little bit.
That's okay. This is the pre-show. This is the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is the pre-show. It's not like the regular show. I also look very white and pasty.
You do.
Compared to you.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm just.
I know. It's
those tropical climates. Yes.
Let me This is awesome. Okay, this is as dark as it gets.
Now, the comments are saying we're echoing right now.
We are?
Badly, yes. Which is strange. I don't hear any echo on my side.
Yeah, I wonder. That's never happened before. Hold on. Yeah, I wonder. That's never. It sounds fine on the stream.
That's weird. Oh, okay. Only some people are picking up echo, so that's weird. Well, whatever.
That is weird. Like, let me.
Now I hear it.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, we're doing it live. All right. Let's get our notes together. So as I tease people, I'm going to talk about Myst 3 Exile.
Okay.
For future retro.
Yep. Hey, money just came in. Hey.
What? Hello, money.
Right? I know.
Who gave us money? I gotta put you up.
The importer.
I've got to go to the comments here. Here we go. Yeah.
Hey, that's slick. That's slick.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
It's wonderful. That's wonderful. I keep forgetting that people can do that.
I mean, I don't forget, but I also don't, ask unless I need to. I'm a little less white now, but man, I'm still pretty white.
Yeah, well, Wisconsin.
In the winter.
Yeah.
I don't get out much. It's going to be -40 below wind chill tomorrow, so the schools have been canceled, which doesn't matter for us because our kids are home all the time anyway, but the people who are.
I do not have the heat on in my house, and I am wearing a t-shirt. So
all right, well, there you go.
But it is raining. It's raining outside. But oh yeah, sporting my Game Dave t-shirt.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's a nice quality t-shirt too.
All right, this is Sean. What are you talking about today?
Probably video games. I'm thinking.
I don't know.
How about Pikmin 3? That's the main thing I've been playing this week.
Ooh, yeah. Give us a good excuse to talk about on your Switch, I assume.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
Even though, it's one of the few games that I've ever double dipped. I lie. I have double dipped on a lot of games, but
right.
But it's one of the few that I've double dipped on so close to when I played it the first time. So yeah, I'll talk about Pikmin. I only caught little bits of your stream. How far did you get?
In Pikmin?
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about this later.
Yeah, it was mostly me stumbling around trying to remember what I was doing because I didn't really play it ahead of time, so that was a lesson learned. And yeah, let's not talk about that right now.
Okay. So
Let me save our notes here. Episode 170 notes. Okay, I'm going to do some cool things pretty soon. I'm excited for the cool things. It's not going to break the stream. It'll be fine.
All right.
So we're 5 minutes in. Hey, your glasses are gone. Who is this person? I thought we're supposed to have Vinnk today. I
have blue eyes. Nobody knows that because I'm
wearing. When you wear the blue frames, it really,
The problem is my eyes are so incredibly terrible that when I put my glasses on, it makes my eyes look incredibly small. But they're not. They're big and beautiful.
Oh, naturally.
That's what people tell me.
So Satoshi figured out the echo problem.
Oh, good.
I don't know why, because we're not using Discord for this, so that's curious. Unless I have Discord open, do I need to like close Discord? Is that causing?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think just for the I think it's a viewer end issue.
Okay. All right.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again?
Oh, good Lord. Okay, so all right, let's synchronize our streams here.
All right. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, sure. Opening up Audacity. Making sausage.
The audacity.
Oh, the audacity. All right.
Okay. So starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
And record.
Very
nice.
This
is the audio portion of our show. Welcome to a podcast. All right. Okay. Sound is rolling.
All right. All right. I'm gonna do something neat. At least I think it's neat.
Okay, fine.
We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do a thing after it. So everyone, get ready.
I'm ready.
You ready? All right.
I gotta hold on to something.
Oh wait, how are we gonna bring this in? I want to do the same thing we did last time. How are we bringing this in?
You're playing. I got it.
Okay, you got it.
Just leave it to me.
I'll leave it to you. All right, here we go. You ready?
Okay.
I'm ready. All right, we're doing this.
Oh, let's do this.
Ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Whoa. Well, goodbye, folks. That was our stream. It's all downhill from here.
That was the start stinger. That was
really good. We popped back in for like half a second.
I think I'm gonna have to like do a new thing, but we can do video stuff now. I'm excited.
I liked that. I like that. It was really cool to see us just like looking kind of stupid for half a second, and then that was great. I love it. That was great.
All right.
That was great. That's what's gonna get those tips coming in. It's stuff like that. Not us, but more stingers.
Silver bees.
All right.
Inside joke.
Indeed. So right. welcome to a podcast.
Well,
I'm Famicom Dojo, and this is long hair. Said the duck shirt. All right. Anyway. Hello.
It's like a duck milkshake.
Indeed. Welcome. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Vinnk.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It's freezing cold here in Wisconsin, but I'm making do, playing some video games and whatnot, watching lots of WandaVision, which we should totally talk about at some point.
I don't have Disney Plus.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I could get it. I could get it.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, there are other reasons to get WandaVision that we'll talk, or to get Disney Plus that we'll talk about later.
Okay. I hear there's Disney movies on it.
I heard that too.
Which is something that's lacking in a lot of other streaming services. Anyway. Anyway, I know about the topic that we were planning to do today, and I'm sorry. you see, I bought the giant bag of Kirkland Himalayan salt potato chips. I thought they'd be really, really crispy, and but my kids have eaten them already, so I don't know if I'm ready for today's podcast.
I am not following you at all.
Well, I mean, they were the thick cut ones, so I thought it would be pretty good. It would give a good crunch. You said we were talking about crunch today.
No. I meant like crunch time, like something that computer programmers and developers have to go through to meet a deadline, usually an artificial deadline set by, say, a corporate overlord, or in this case, a publisher, in order to meet some projected sales target for the year. What did you thought I was talking about? Potato chips?
No, I mean video game crunch. Like you gotta eat something. I thought we were gonna talk about like I got this really good tip. Like if you're eating potato chips and you don't want to get your controller all greasy, use chopsticks. That's what you do. That's what the pros do. They use chopsticks. Then your controller stays, and you still get that nice crunch.
But how do you like hear the awesome game music over the chewing? Never mind.
Headphones.
just like what we're wearing now.
Really? Well, I'm totally unprepared for that topic. Well,
oh Lord.
Fine. Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll talk about the video game industry.
Is that?
But how does that affect me? Potato chips affect me.
Well, I tell you, it should just affect how you feel about certain things, apparently.
No, we're talking about crunch today.
All right.
We're talking about crunch, and I don't know. I mean, you gave a pretty good overview right there. But,
sure.
But I mean, now, of course, the negatives, of crunch, are, well, it's terrible for the workers, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And it's becoming a larger problem now as games get bigger and bigger. Deadlines get the hype is building, so you got to get a game out on time. I mean, it used to be that you would announce a game and it would be, and it would be like a team of 8 people working on it for a couple of months, and then it would get out, and unless it was broken, it would still ship on time, or even if it was broken, it would still ship on time.
Right, because back in the day, you had to be perfect and bug free because you couldn't patch it later.
That's right, and I mean. But as games get larger and larger, and the hype machine builds, and I guess the scariest thing is one of the reasons crunch has to happen is because some of these the budgets are so high that one game can make or break a company. If they don't meet a deadline, and the hype wanes, the whole company could be sunk.
We should be specific. The company in question that is in danger of this isn't the publisher. It's usually the development firm that is actually making the game.
Yep.
I think one of the most infamous implosions lately was BioWare, or at least one of the BioWare studios. Yep. And EA. EA is fine.
Sure.
Unsurprisingly, BioWare wasn't so fine.
No.
And that was due to Mass Effect Andromeda's performance.
Yeah.
But can you blame them? Can you blame them? Should we blame them? And I'm going to argue no.
I argue that we need to blame someone, because that we need. I don't know who it is, but someone's got to take the fall for that thing.
It's complicated.
It is.
As someone who's in a software development industry, just not a video game industry, I can assure you it's complicated.
Do you have crunch?
We try to avoid crunch.
Okay.
Crunch is unofficially not allowed.
Okay.
Or sorry, officially not allowed.
Yeah.
Unofficially, it's been murky from time to time.
I am in a non-development position, but we have the equivalent of crunch all the time. I'm in education, and as semesters begin and end, test season, things like that, there's a lot of expected overtime that's not necessarily salaried. This is Japan. But what's funny is like you kind of expect that kind of thing from Japan. But what's happening with a lot of the worst examples of crunch is it's happening from American and European companies.
Mm.
And actually, one of the biggest Japanese companies is infamous for not for allowing games to be delayed to avoid instances of huge crunch.
Is that Nintendo?
That would be Nintendo. But
They're
now,
a bit of a special case, though.
that's not necessarily that they don't have crunch. It's
Right.
just that reports of disgruntled employees hasn't come out. So they
Mm.
might still be doing crunch, and
Sure.
they might still, but it's not. But perhaps it's paid crunch. Perhaps it's a slumber party where everybody's having a good time anyway, so no one wants to say anything. That's probably not what's going on.
No.
What was that famous Miyamoto quote? What was that? A delayed game can eventually be good, but a rushed game will forever be bad, or something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean that again, that made more sense when the game was on EEPROMs and you couldn't change it after the fact. Now day one launch patches are like the norm. Like whatever gets shipped on the cartridge or disc or whatever is no longer what you actually end up playing.
That's right. If there's anything on there at all, sometimes you barely have anything beyond a loader.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's a whole other topic. I recently hit my capacity limit on my PS4, and boy howdy was I mad.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. I ended up deleting the Nathan Drake collection because I never played it, and I got it for free, so what do I care? But I can download it again eventually. Maybe.
Will you though?
Will I though?
Yeah. Probably. I think I have that as well. And I don't even I do. Didn't we get it for free because they were hacked or something?
No. Was it the hack? No, it was the Play at Home initiative, to
yes.
Get people to maybe those things were connected.
The hack's how I got Mirror's Edge.
We know that's how I got
Little Big Planet.
Okay. No, that's how I got Journey for my PS4. Not the hack with the Play at Home thing. It was free.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, Journey is a great game.
That was roughly a year-ish ago, right?
Let's talk about Journey instead. Crunch.
I know. No. We got to talk about the sad things because people are going to buy games regardless, and like knowing the conditions that the games were made is kind of immaterial to them. But it's not immaterial to a whole bunch of people who actually make and love the games. Now, I lived in Madison for a good long while, and that's home to Raven Software. Mm-hmm. And they are now owned by Activision.
Are they?
So yes, they have been for quite a while. So they've been doing franchise games. Like they'll do things like the 10th Call of Duty or some X-Men game. That's kind of their thing now.
Okay.
And I don't think that these titles are necessarily very high profile, so they can get away with not getting shuttered if they don't meet some kind of revenue target, or those targets are lower. I actually have a friend who said that she tested one of the games where the press F to pay respects meme came from.
Yep.
And just recently learned that it was even a meme. So
really?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yes. It's like, I tested that. That's wild.
That is interesting. You ever done any game testing?
I have not done any game testing, but I did get to see a very early demo of the original Prey 2.
Oh, that's interesting.
By Human Head, when Human Head was still doing it, which I want to talk about obliquely. That definitely falls under the auspices of this particular topic. But
I did a little game testing with some iPhone games back in the day.
Okay.
I think a lot of them aren't even available on the store anymore because they weren't free to play games. They were you buy the game, which is kids. If you don't know about this, there used to be a time when you would download a game and you'd own it until the phone manufacturer decides you didn't anymore.
Right. Yeah. And in some ways you can still lose access to that game because it can go off like the App Store on the iPhone, or you upgrade from to 64-bit operating systems and you can't play the 32-bit version anymore. Yeah. I upgraded my phone recently.
Girl. I'm looking at you, Jumping Girl.
Man, we should talk to that guy, see how he's doing. It's been 10 years. So we should see Jumping Girl 2 is on the horizon.
It has been 10 years.
That the horizon, that was a pun. That was a never mind.
I know, I get it. But
it wasn't that funny.
It was 10 years ago that we went to Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, and we got a T-shirt. I still have that. Actually, it fell apart. Actually,
that's when our big announcement was. We met the guys who did Angry Birds.
Yep.
Is Angry Birds still a thing?
It sure is. There's been a movie. There's an Angry Birds 2. There's actually a TV show, I think, too. Yeah, we met them at a train station.
Yes, we did.
And
anyway, oh my goodness, 10 years ago. That means that was like a fourth of my life ago.
Let's not think about that, because it was also a fourth of my life ago too.
Crunch time.
Crunch. I guess this is what happens.
Okay.
Typically, right? Yep. Now the economics of how video games are made, especially in this publisher-developer relationship, are probably not what you expect. You might think that like a major game that gets a lot of like good press and funding and advertising blitzes and whatever, like the development studios get some kind of share of the profits, and I'm pretty sure that almost never happens.
Yeah,
developers usually paid up front. Their employees are typically salaried, so they get paid the same no matter what happens, which also means when they have to crunch, they get paid the same no matter how many hours they work. Where that changes, they end up being hourly, they end up losing benefits, they get paid more, but they still have to crunch, and is it really worth it in the end? But so what'll happen in best case scenario is that the studio has to go through some milestones. The publisher typically has to approve them. So there's all this artistic and other kind of playability oversight. If it doesn't really meet the vision of what the publisher wants, then bad things can happen. But best case scenario, happy path. These are all development terms, by the way. It goes through, they meet their milestones, they meet their publish date, the game goes out to rave reviews, makes billions of dollars, or maybe not billions, but millions of dollars for the publisher,
and they are heavily rewarded for all the hard work they did
by making a different game. The opportunity to make a different game. This is like when I worked at Toys R Us. Back in 2004, we were supposed to sell these buyer protection plans, or they weren't BPPs, because Best Buy was doing stuff like this for their software, but it's like who's going to spend $2 or $3 to like insure their stuffed animal, right? Like you can sell these on diapers because they get used, but we were supposed to be pushing these things, and it's like X% of this company's gone under. I can talk about this more openly. I think they were saying like 50% of the store's budget was targeted to go through these protection plans. And so it's like, well, what's my incentive for selling these apart from keeping my job? It's like, you get to work more hours at the store. And I'm that's not really an incentive. And economically speaking, doesn't make any sense because they're not going to staff the store with more people than they need. Right. No. So it's kind of a lie. It's pretty much a big fat lie. The management and the owners and stuff, they're going to get the cut of this, and the workers aren't going to get hardly anything. And that's pretty much the arrangement that video game developers have with publishers. If they're in the standard AAA setup.
But you don't sell enough of those things, you are not.
Right. There's that too. Now I gamed the system once because we were in order to like boost morale. You did a bingo. So it's like, did you remember to tell people to get batteries? Did you upsell this other thing? Did you remember to say this thing to this person? So I would get, a bingo, sometimes 2 or 3 in one day, working the register. And then you get like an ice cream bar or whatever. Right. And this And this worked so well, and I was doing so well that they
Yeah.
canned the program entirely because apparently a $1.35 ice cream bar was just too much margin for them, even though I was selling these
You
buyer
got
protection plans
greedy.
on top of it.
You
Yeah,
got greedy, Sean.
I
You
didn't.
got greedy.
I did not get paid well for this job. Let me tell you.
But you got to live your dream of working at Toys R Us.
Yeah, it was easy to get to put aside Transformers that I would like to buy, which would go against your paycheck. So
I
yeah.
mean, in the end, did you ever make any money from it, or was it just like a Transformer transfer program?
No. I had to like pay rent and stuff. Like this wasn't, I was in college. This was like a summer actually prior to going to Japan. As a matter of fact, so I was trying to get Japan spending money to buy a whole shelf full of Saturn games I still haven't barely played 18 years later. But so
But
it was
that's another
time well
story.
spent.
Yes,
Yeah. So that's the happy path. How do you feel about this news, Vinnk?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised, but I mean, the first thing that probably comes to my mind and the mind of a lot of other people's is how can these companies keep getting away with this? Like why don't the employees talk to their union representatives?
Let me tell you about unions, Vinnk.
I'm sorry. All I'm doing is teeing you up today. I mean, like you've obviously got more to say on this than me. So, but yeah, there's no union. There's no unions,
Especially not in video game. I mean, there could be. I worked at one development shop that had a union.
Yeah.
CUNA Mutual in Madison.
Yeah.
It's the only place ever.
Yep. So why? But the thing is, why can they get away with not having unions? Why can they get away with treating their employees like this? You'd think the turnover would be extreme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is.
It is, yes. I mean, first of all, the ones who are causing the problem are typically the publishers, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, the developers have bosses too that are trying to look after the bottom line. But ultimately, if they don't meet their milestones, they don't get paid anymore. If they don't have a project lined up, like they might have a salary, but it's like, well, I can't pay you. I'm going to furlough you. And I've had this happen to friends where it's like they were promised, if you just work for the next 3 months, 6 months without pay, we'll make it up to you somehow. Sure. And I know one person who parlayed that into a bigger stake at the company at one point. But when the company might be going under because they're not getting paid for their work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, again, the reason they're able to continue doing this, though, is because they have basically an endless stream of new talent, and that's the thing. Like, that's why companies like YouTube can treat because there's always going to be more people who will make content for free. People, there's always going to be What do you mean? It's not free. We got $2 today.
Yeah. What's YouTube's cut of that $2?
Probably $3. But
probably.
But no. I mean, that's the thing. But much like a lot of these developers, some people just want to do these things so much that they're willing to be basically exploited. And that's why people don't often stay in game development for a long time unless they get into the upper positions. You've got people who are like directors of games, and they're going to stay with the company because they're being compensated well. But people who are making art assets, things like that, they're just going to exhaust those people. But that's okay, because there's a bunch of college graduates just ready. I mean, when I was a kid, if I was like, would you like to work at Nintendo's a bad example because they might be okay, but like, would you like to work at a video game company? Oh yeah. Oh, you'd pay me too? That'd be great. That'd be even better. Because it's but the problem is that's a problem, and that's the problem is that's a problem. There's the t-shirt for today.
Yeah.
Is it worth that $2? Hope so. Anyway, that's just the biggest issue, and that's how it is in a lot of positions where it's seen as either a status or a fun type of job. You find the same thing is that you're going to exploit people in the entertainment industry all over the place, just because so many people want these jobs that you can basically do whatever you want, and that's a problem. Because if a company doesn't want to unionize, that's okay. If everybody goes on strike, they're just going to bring in a whole bunch of other people to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm having a bunch of comments
oh yeah.
for the
Let's see.
people who
Someone
are.
wrote, okay, reminds me of the old comics retail. Talked about all of that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Comics retail. I'm sure that still exists, but
Yeah.
yeah, but
I
that's
wonder how that's happening now.
yeah.
Yeah. So all right, let's talk about a scenario that's not so happy.
Okay. Wait, we were talking about happy stuff already.
Oh yeah, that's the
Okay.
best case. Those are
All
the
right.
best
Oh,
case
oh
scenarios.
boy. Okay. Give me another one.
All right. Let's talk. Another scenario is this. You make a game, you have all these meetings with the publisher, and you
Yeah.
figure out what they want, and then you make it. You have this milestone meeting, and they're like, it's not really what we're looking for. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, what do you want? Oh, it's this. Okay, that's different, but we'll try that. And then it requires rework, throwing away things that you've done, assets, whatever. And then you have the next milestone meeting, and they go, yeah, still not what we're looking for, and we're not going to pay you anymore because you're missing your milestones. And it's like, well, wait, we did what you asked. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, we might give this to a different group, but hey, I got an idea for you. How about we loan you the money, and then you can keep working on it, and we'll give you one more chance. Now, at this point, alarm bells should probably be going off in your head, thinking,
Yep.
if we're not doing well enough for them to pay us,
Yep.
but they're going to loan us the money under
Yeah.
the circumstances. I
Yep.
don't know for sure how they would get paid back exactly,
Yep.
or when, or if ever. In fact, it's not even them who's loaning you. They're going to hook you up with someone else who seems
Yeah.
separate from them, but is actually owned by the same parent company, usually
Yep.
whatever mega holding company
Yep.
actually
Yep.
owns the publisher and everything
Of course.
else. That's who you're actually getting the loan from. So it's not from the publisher itself, right? This is a tactic. This is a way to get private developers to get leveraged into being bought by the publisher. Not because they think that what you're doing is bad, but they're just going to waste your time and your money and drain it
Yeah.
in order to make a sales offer, which also doesn't make any sense, because if you're
Yep.
not doing good work for that publisher, why
Yeah.
would they want to buy you?
But I
And
mean, I
yeah,
I guess that goes into the whole thing of what choice do people have at that point? Because you've already invested
right.
so much time, you've already invested so much effort. Even you were talking earlier about the alarm bells going off. I'm sure
Yeah.
they're going off for anybody who gets into. I'm sure nobody thinks this is a good deal, but sometimes just to survive, you have to keep that going.
Right.
Yeah.
And the average developer probably has no idea this is happening behind the scenes, right? They just
Oh
know
yeah.
that they aren't meeting targets and that they're getting new
Yep.
direction from their management. And
Yep.
it's like, what's going on? I spent
Yep.
80 hours this last 4 days.
Yep.
Probably not too much of an exaggeration, just trying to get this perfect, and you're telling me they don't want it. And that can happen when your product is of subjective quality and not objective
Sure.
quality.
Sure.
I work in an industry where like objective quality is a lot higher.
Uh,
So as long as it does what it needs to, and it looks decently nice, then you're pretty much golden.
so solutions.
Solutions? I don't know. I wonder, how Nintendo's shepherding of independent studios is going for them, or if it's kind of more of the same. Like typically they pick up things that were in the PC realm, weren't really announced for Switch. Like a lot of what I'm eyeing up for future retro actually started as
Yeah.
Kickstarter projects, and have gone through several iterations. So the Switch version is like Oxenfree, for instance, that already had like a new game plus that was added years later, right? But then the Switch gets the full experience. I think Crypt of the Necro Dancer is another one.
Yep.
The Shadowgate remake. the Flashback remake, Another World, like things that we buy in limited run games. Like this is, bringing stuff to the console in the last 2 or 3 years that was like initially released in 2013, 2014.
Sure.
That seems to be working pretty good for Nintendo. Not so sure about the developers themselves, but I'm guessing they're okay with the risk being lessened.
Satoshi just wrote, solution is to treat people decently. And I mean, that, I think that goes into the next part that I want to talk about.
Sure.
It's definitely possible to do that, but
it's not profitable.
But publishers aren't going to do that unless it was profitable. Because right now, the main issue is that most consumers don't care.
Right.
Because if the game is fine, they don't really care what went into it. They're going to buy it. And there's also kind of the belief amongst a lot of people, and I think I even believe this too, that even if there's crunch, if a game goes on to become a mega super seller, that the people who crunched will benefit from that. But usually it's not, unless you're right at the top. So now some companies offer things like pay bonuses. Some people, pay triple overtime around crunch. Some companies try to avoid crunch. But I mean, the thing is for people to be treated decently, something that has to change is customers are going to have to be more patient.
Mm-hmm. Which they probably won't be.
Release dates are going to have to be more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And probably games are going to have, if you're going to have a game that has the budget of a blockbuster motion picture, probably they're going to have to cost more.
Right.
And all of these things are things that I think a lot of gamers would rail against. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And that's a problem. So there's no real incentive for publishers to change anything. Like we try. I mean, it's the same as when clothing has been made by slave labor and stuff. As long as you can get a brand new dress for $8,
right?
Fast fashion stuff like that. A lot of people are totally willing to look the other way. Now that's changing because we're finding out more about it. I think if people knew about the conditions that people were going through, that might be,
I'm not so sure, because we've known for a long time that these are generally the conditions under which like clothing, other good iPhones, like this are made. I still have an iPhone.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if switching to like Android would be any better. One of the various like Samsung or whatever. I don't.
No, I mean,
but what do you do?
Exactly. Now, to avoid crunch, you stop playing games altogether. That's not going to do anything, because games still need to sell. People need to have work. Oh my gosh, we got some good comments coming in. Let's see.
Which one do you want?
Let's go for Arugus.
Yeah.
There are some like
Microsoft, I believe.
That can just run a studio, and then others who are really good. Oh, but here's an earlier one. He says, or he or she says, I'm in an industry for a small developer. We've learned what publishers to avoid working for. And yeah, I think that's true. Like people who've been in the industry for a while, they can probably, pick and choose. Konacha, make labor laws better.
Well, I mean, they just make games in different countries, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem.
It is. Already so much asset work is being outsourced. I mean, we're already, a lot of it is being put to places that have cheaper labor, which is not to say that their work isn't good. That's fine, but if you're outsourcing because of the talent, that's great. But if you're outsourcing just to avoid taxes and things like that, that's not as good.
So I'm reading this book called Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari.
Okay.
And there's a lot of interesting stuff on there. I'm in the section up that's about money.
Yeah.
And my sister and her husband gifted this to me and my wife
Okay.
for Christmas.
Hmm.
It's about it's almost exactly a 6-year-old book at this point.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty recent, but it goes into how humanity has been able to be as successful as it is despite no genetic underpinnings for our anything we do. Basically, like culture isn't
Okay.
like the things that enable culture and being able to cooperate in like large groups of millions of people, uh
Sure.
billions in some cases, uh might be enabled by like the genes that create our intelligence. But like culture, like if cultures disappear, then it's just gone and we got to start over from scratch. So talking about money, he said it was I'm going to paraphrase here, that it was the most successful system of mutual trust ever devised in history. But the dark side, the underside of this is that when you run out of money, you run out of trust.
Yeah.
So I just gave you an example of how a publisher can weaponize the running out of
Sure.
money
Yep.
to affect a certain end. But by and
Yeah.
large, it's mostly this game of you're only worth this much in your labor. We're going to pocket the
Yeah.
difference because we're taking all the risk.
Yeah.
And you get to make another great game for us
Yeah.
in another year or so if you do well.
Mm.
If you don't do well, we're going to give it to some other studio potentially. Like if it's not that studio's IP, if it is their IP, then they might try and
Yeah.
push them under just to
Sure.
take it, start at the studio, and then give the project to somebody else. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who was working for them or why or what their life's ambitions were
Now,
or how good the game is going to be.
I think we should point out, as a lot of people have rightly pointed out, that this is not an exclusive thing to the games industry, but it does seem like the game industry has a lot less regulation than a lot of other places. You know,
Mhm.
or just the fact that like you treat employees really really bad for a position that they have a lot of selection about, they're going to leave. You know what I mean? Like if a school treats a teacher really really bad, they're probably going to go to a different school, and it's hard to it's hard to replace that kind of thing. But I think one of the problems with the game industry is there's so many people who feel undervalued or not, seem to be moved around interchangeably. And
Mhm.
I think that's, gosh, I don't know. I have crunch. Do you
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely have crunch, and it's not extra pay, but like, but at the same time, like, I think that there's, hmm, I don't know. It's a good, you know, it's because maybe perhaps I'm being exploited as well. Just like
I think we all are to some degree. Well,
to some degree, yeah.
let's think of some examples, right? We got Cyberpunk.
Okay, yeah,
Pretty famous example.
yep,
We've had before that it was oh shoot, Cyberpunk, and then it was pretty recently before that I thought, but I'm blanking now.
which one?
And then I can't think of it. There was like Mass Effect Andromeda before that yet. So like in between those two things,
Yeah,
there was another famous infamous example of this. But like whenever I see a game that comes out and is just not done, I can never think it's the developer's fault. It's like
oh yeah,
there were deadlines that were missed,
yeah,
and there are all kinds of reasons for that. There could have been a talent deficit. There could have been
sure,
unreasonable expectations. There was an example that Satoshi Matrix mentioned earlier about Mega
yeah,
Man 7, where
oh
they
yeah,
there we go. It was made in 3 months because the company uh, that had been making it was having problems. So they
yep,
basically started over and they made
yeah.
Mega Man 7. So that was a Super Nintendo game, right?
Wait, 7. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking X7. I was like PlayStation. I'm like, wow, that's impressive too. But still, yeah, Mega Man 7.
Right. Like how much manpower do you need to make a game in 7 months? Like if it's any
Well,
either it's not complicated, which is almost certainly never the case.
to be fair, they had Mega Man.
To be fair.
Yeah.
So I've been watching a lot of Letterkenny, so
I don't know what that is.
Oh no. It's probably for the best right now. Well,
okay.
Save that for the other podcast.
Okay. Other podcast. There's another podcast.
Is there though?
Is
there? Well, right.
If a podcast was recorded, but no one heard it, did it make a sound?
Boy, that's deep. What if there were like 2 or 3 episodes of that podcast and nobody heard it? Does it matter?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Is it still relevant? Anyway.
So
anyway.
I don't know how to land this one. I don't know how to bring this in. I don't have a happy anecdote or like any hope that it's going to get better for you.
Well, let's talk about this.
Okay.
And I think that's a question I'm going to pose to our listeners as well for this. Would you be willing to pay more to play a game if it had like a seal on it, like this game is crunch free? You know what I mean? Like right now, people are willing to pay more if they've got something free trade coffee, certified organic, cruelty free. There's all those type of things, and people have shown that they are willing to pay more for those things. But do you think people would pay more if it's like Mass Effect remake cruelty free? You know what I mean, or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Although that would be, I would use different words, because if you put on like Mortal Kombat 12 cruelty free, they're like, well, that's what I bought it for. Right.
No, that's really good. Like, this is an organic game. This game wasn't made with GMOs. Like that's a really good marketing gimmick.
Free range developers. They were like, walk around.
So going back to last episode, we're talking about like a $70 too much for a game. Would you pay $100 for a game that was made ethically?
Well, I mean, if the sound team were grass fed.
Okay. For real though, I was at a farmer's market in Madison.
Yeah.
I cannot recall the name of the farm off the top of my head here because it was like almost a decade ago. But like they had this like grass-fed Greek yogurt and it was amazing. But they never showed up at the farmer's market afterward. After I finished this giant free tub, I was going to give them. I was a tester for their yogurt, and I wanted to come back and tell them.
Is a job.
I mean, I didn't get paid for it, but I didn't pay for the yogurt either. So I was going to. So
this
good.
Is the topic we should be talking about. Yogurt testing. But no, I know. I get you. Like a lot of the cheeses I buy when I do go back to Wisconsin, because I have a limited luggage space. Because I can't just buy good cheese here. So I buy the more expensive stuff. I've been getting the grass-fed cheeses, the whatever, and they're oh my goodness! If I move the podcast to cheese, I'm so sorry.
No, it's the cheese.
I haven't had lunch yet. But
big old plate of cheese.
Oh, big old plate. That's my lunch. No, but I'm running out, man. I'm running out of cheese. I haven't been to the States in a long time. How good is the cheese in Japan?
Not good.
Freaking terrible.
Cheese doesn't exist in Japan effectively.
Cheese if you go up to Hokkaido, but the price you're paying for it. What kind of cheese is there even in Japan? Processed garbage cheese. That's what they have in Japan.
No.
There are some good cheeses made in Japan, but they're so expensive. Like
Japan doesn't really have dairy or beef cattle. They need a lot of open arable land, and they just don't have that there.
Yeah. Best cheese is aged Gruyere. Yes. That's my fondue cheese of choice. Okay, we might be getting a little off topic here.
A little bit. We should have a cheese cast sometime.
Maybe.
Okay. Quick question. Quick question for you guys. would you want a T-shirt for Zachiz? Would that be one of the things that you get with your Patreon reward? What if we put like Vink's face in the middle of it
No,
for the dots?
I don't want that.
Zachiz.
Yuck. No Vinnk
All right.
face.
All right, no Vinnk face, but we'll figure something out for you. All right, Kanacha says yes. Okay, no, I like your idea of the ethically developed label.
Yeah.
That's really good. And I kind of feel like because I've been playing so many independent games that I've kind of been steered toward that anyway, but I don't pay as much, but I probably would. Like, I've been giving limited run games my money because I like physical, but I don't know how much of that the developer gets. Yeah. And typically in those arrangements, they probably don't get a whole lot. But, we've talked before about how even on eShop titles, they have to deeply discount their games, but it gets them volume. And the volume makes up, when something's digital, you don't really care about the volume. But that makes up for the for the price, like severe price reduction. And then they do get paid. And Nintendo makes money or whoever. And it's good for everybody. So, if you can self-publish, then that's probably, it's a gamble. Yeah. But it might be a safer gamble than this massive publishing conglomerate that does not necessarily have your best interests at heart.
How about this? Now, so one of the solutions is the games cost more. They're free range developers, whatever. Yep. And how about this one?
Yeah.
The game doesn't cost more.
Yeah.
But we try to make more A titles rather than AAA titles.
Oh, sure. And I'm fine with that.
Because you're not fine. You've got crunch in whatever you're making, but like if you are a more svelte studio, who can move around, who have a game that is made by a smaller team, and is more flexible. Most of the games, I don't buy AAA games very much, and almost never day and date. You know what I mean? Right. I whenever I do get AAA titles, it's usually like when they've been out for a long time and I buy it used. So the developer's not getting anything from me anyway. For the most part, other than with a few exceptions, I buy mostly independent games or Nintendo games or, kind of like niche RPGs and things like that. And frankly, I think that, I don't know how it's hard to get information out of Japan for how people are being treated or what's, because the companies, there would be a lot of shame in like outing a company if they were doing really bad, but it does seem like employees stay on longer with those companies because you'll have people who stay with a company for a very long time. They don't seem to exhaust new talent quite as much. And gosh, I would not want to make the leap that Japanese game design employees are treated better because I have nothing to back that up. However,
Japanese employees in general don't seem treated better than their Western counterparts.
Perhaps they're not treated worse than any other job in Japan.
Well, yeah.
But yeah. But like, frankly, I think a combination of the two. I think AAA games that have ridiculously high budgets should come with a higher price tag. And games that are made with another team and or maybe that's just me saying it because the type of games I like are usually not the ones that are affected by crunch so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't care about the newest Grand Theft Auto game, and I don't care about the newest Call of Duty game, but it's sad that people are being exploited on those. You know what I mean? But I would like it if, I hate to say it, but I'd like it if some of those games failed so we can get back to the single A or even the B games. I like the B games.
Man, I'll play a B game.
What is C plus nice try type of games? I love
what is Bouncing Girl? Where does that fall?
That is a D minus.
More like a double D.
Double D.
Yeah. So I guess, I think something else that doesn't help is the major publishers deep discounting their games. People are talking about it in the chat right now, but like, waiting for the game to go down in price. Like, if publishers are figuring out if a game does well enough because how much it's sold at the $60 price point, maybe don't drop the price. Nintendo doesn't do it because they know that their games are quality. Like if publishers had to do the same thing, and maybe they're making room for the next $60 game that they're going to release that year, and that's part of the problem. Maybe they just have to release fewer games at higher price points. Maybe they won't burn out so many studios if they do that. And people just have to get used to what the actual price of gaming is. And then and then maybe it ends up being $60 is too much, and then it equalizes again to something a little more reasonable. But on the other hand, like, whenever I go to Walmart to look for Transformers toys, not to buy video games, I see that their games are always $10 less than anywhere else. And I'm scared to know how they accomplish that. I'm sure they're shortchanging somebody.
Oh, sure. But I mean, that's the thing. Plus, in Japan, where I live, if you have a AAA game, it's often $90 or $100.
Right.
And if you have even Nintendo has price, like Xenoblade 2 is like $85, but like like Captain Toad was like $35. But like in the United States, both of those games were $60, despite the tremendous difference in amount of work that went into it. So I don't know.
Right.
It's
and perceived value, which is my biggest problem. Like I'm sure that it's polished. I have no question it's polished, and the people who worked on it, deserve every accolade they have. But it's just on a game that I personally want to pay $60 for.
Sure. So I mean, that's another topic as well. And oh my gosh, we've been getting some great comments going on here. Neptunia series, that's a RPG series that's made by a very small team, and they seem to put out a couple a year. It's Stardew Valley was made by a guy. Undertale was made by a guy.
Right.
And I bet he had a lot of self-imposed crunch time. I bet you.
Right. And it's hard if you have to be like one person doing all the development, all the testing, like all the music or whatever. Like there might be people who are helping behind the scenes who are getting even less attention than the one guy, because it might be more than just the one guy. Like I've been playing Another World. I'm working on that for the next Future Retro. Like that was made by one guy, right? But it's a game that got perfected by its publisher, ultimately. And there are things about that I'm sure there are both sides to, but there's that part of it too. It's like if you have the time and are willing to risk your livelihood to be the one guy making that game, go for it. But not everyone can do that.
No. So just I don't think there's going to be any simple solution to this, but I think the more people who know about this, the more people who care about this, the more options we're going to have. Because right now, the biggest issue is there's no motivation for a publisher to change what they're doing.
Right.
Because the video game industry is intensely profitable for the publishers, for the big, studios. They're making bank and they're not paying any taxes, and they're one of the problems is the main consumer market that they have are kids who don't care. So I mean, I guess we'll see where this goes. But the way the industry is right now is not necessarily sustainable. So something's probably got to give. Oh, there's that optimism again.
Optimism, Captain. No, I just want to also mention too that I mentioned Prey 2 earlier, and that game definitely fell victim to the uglier side of this relationship. Now, this is all public knowledge now. I knew about it well ahead of time, but like could not say anything. But then, actual developers and other senior people at Human Head have come out and discussed what Bethesda had been doing with the development of Prey 2. So I would recommend looking that up. I'm going to try to look that up too and add to the show notes. I'm sure I saved it somewhere, but Bethesda ended up making another Prey game without Human Head. But people had very strong feelings because they bought the company's line about Prey 2's quality.
Yep.
And just as an anecdotal observer who like sat in a room one time for an incomplete demo, it looked pretty darn quality to me.
Sure.
I'll tell you that much. But short of that, I don't know if that convinces anybody how to do things differently. Another example is BioWare is releasing the Legendary Edition for the Mass Effect trilogy. So after Andromeda collapsed and almost broke the company, they went back to the well for people essentially a generation ago, redoing their game for 4K. And so that allows you the ability to like focus on the parts that just need improving and not start making a whole game from scratch. And it might take just as long as making a whole game, but you end up with a quality product and it's going to sell. Like it's a sure bet for EA to do this. And it's been 14 years, so not quite the 15 since the first Mass Effect was released, but I'm probably going to buy it, even though I don't really have a reason to, because I just like Mass Effect and I want BioWare to make more games. I want to play Dragon Age 4. I'll even play Andromeda 2 or whatever they come up with next. Like I want them to make more stuff. So I'm going to throw money at this game that I may never play because I want to be like, you're doing good. Please keep it up. I'm not going to buy that helmet for $150 though. I'm just not going to do it.
I guess, but perhaps you're part of the problem.
Or perhaps how does that make me part of the problem? Oh dear. Explain.
Quality matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like you said you're going to support the game, may not even play it, and it doesn't even matter if it's a good product because you want them to keep making games. But why, if they're going to make more games that you're not going to play, because quality doesn't matter? Because
oh, good Lord, they don't care if I play the game or not, though. Is the thing. They just want my money, so I'll just give them my money.
No, that's not true. That's in this day. You are years behind on that statement.
Really.
Play the game so you can buy all the microtransactions.
Oh, but
very important that you can.
They took out Mass Effect's microtransactions. There's no multiplayer anymore. So
they're releasing a game without microtransactions.
I know, right?
Okay, I'm gonna buy this too. I'll support that.
Also, so a bit of a sad story. There was a DLC for the first game that they couldn't include because the source code had been lost, and they tried really hard to find it. And it wasn't like the most important piece of DLC, but they wanted the complete experience, so they tried. But it was just gone. Like the company suffered a disaster. It wasn't BioWare that made it. So that kind of thing happens, but that's not like a bad example of subsidizing development. It's just something that happens. They tried.
All right.
Okay.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's do some future retro pile of shame.
Yeah. Sure. Gosh, I'm seeing comments scroll on my screen, and people are poo-pooing Xenoblade 2 right now, and I'm gonna let that stand. So right. If you see me being distracted, I'm just like them's fighting words.
Right.
No, I did have a lot of problems, but I enjoyed it. Okay. Anyway, so what are you doing a future retro or a pile of shame for me today?
Oh, I'm doing a future retro for you today.
Future retro. Okay. Tell me about it.
So as everyone knows, if you've been following the future retro fall, I was playing Myst again for the first time in a long time on the Switch with real Myst. Then I went back. And I feel
like we're in a time loop because
no. I'm just prepping.
Okay,
I'm not gonna linger here. Okay, but that was the most modern version of Myst I'd ever played, right?
Okay.
For those curious, there's also a video we did about how to beat it in 5 minutes. Still works with real Myst. Good times. 2 episodes ago, I talked about my experience with Riven. So I just kept right on going. I bought the entire quintilogy in one fell swoop on Good Old Games. So I'm making my way through it right now.
I think I sent you that link. Yeah.
yes, that was it actually was on sale at the time too, so I got a pretty good deal. I think I spent less than $30 on the whole thing, probably less than 25.
I bought that same thing, but I have not gone as deep as you.
So Riven was unadorned, but it was still a very good experience, and I talked about that previously.
Really, it's a remake.
Yes, and I would love to see that. So I played Myst 3 Exile for the first time since I played. I only played it the one time when it originally came out in '99,
Okay.
I believe it was. It's a smaller game than Riven was, or at least it's more focused. Its style is more like the original Myst game, where you have very discrete ages that you have to visit. And the story goes that Sirius and Akinar had ravaged this world that Atreus had used to train his sons on how to, write linking books and follow in his footsteps and everything. So when they embarked on their this is all spoilers for the first Myst, by the
Yeah,
way.
I was gonna say like, yeah, but okay.
When they embarked on their very naughty boy stuff,
Naughty boy stuff.
um,
Yes.
they, they left some destruction in their wake. So you have this character played by oh no, I had his name on the top of my head. I was gonna I'm not gonna screw it up. Oh, I almost had it too. Shoot. Uh, uh, uh
I'll dance.
shoot.
I'll dance. I'll dance while you're looking it up.
Oh gosh, half his name keeps coming to mind, and I lose it right away.
You get the $2 coming in.
Yeah, that's right. There was the dancing money and the stop dancing money last time, I believe.
Dancing money and the stop dancing money. someone. What was it? I'll give you $5 if you dance, and then someone else was like, "I'll give you $5 if you stop." Oh Lord.
Oh God, Brad Dourif.
There
Okay,
you
he played Savredo.
Yeah.
For quite a long time, for many years, he was cut off from his own people, and now he's been planning his revenge against Atreus and his sons. So you are sent. You as the protagonist, the main character of Myst and Riven, who has helped in these kinds of things before. You are sent instead of Atreus himself. So Savredo is very disappointed by this development, but figures he's going to parlay this into some actual work. And if you're not careful, you can goof and let him exact his revenge. So there are multiple endings to this game too. But the main points of wanting to play this game again were the realization that Presto Studios of Journeyman Project fame had made it, as opposed to Cyan, which we discussed in earlier episodes.
We talked about it before, but two studios were making it, and wait, was that maybe that might be Myst 4? Never mind.
Right. So one of the things that Presto was able to develop was this real 3D 360 way of mapping things in the 3D world, and not just like a still that would be kind of animated maybe a little bit.
Fixed camera perspective, but movable. Yeah.
Right. Like you're not free roaming like real Myst is, but it was a big development at the time when PCs really couldn't handle anything more than pre-rendered graphics. So it was one of those intermediary steps before we had things like the N64 was one of the first consoles that could do this well, and then PS2 and everything else that came out like a year after this game did, and it was all real-time rendering. So that kind of ended the dominance, at least in the adventure space, of adventure games. Really, this is the last adventure game I played that I can think of for a really long time.
Really?
Yeah.
What year was that?
99.
So that's about that's around the time of like Grim Fandango. So that's kind of like when LucasArts was also LucasArts. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, adventure games sort of made a comeback, and then sort of again.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sam & Max is on the Switch now. Sam & Max season 1.
Oh, right. Oh, beautiful. Good. I don't have to worry about it disappearing off of my Steam list again.
They remastered it. It looks fantastic.
Oh, beautiful.
It looks fantastic. Yeah. Sorry.
That's fine.
A little off topic.
Yeah. The second reason to play it again was to see if it really held up as well as I remembered, because Riven I ended up liking better. Yeah. I thought it was the superior of the best of all three games, and I still think that's true. But Myst 3 I actually didn't remember a lot about except for the ending, maybe some of the puzzles, and the individual worlds and stuff. But uh, I really wanted to go into this one after playing those other two previous games without looking up any hints whatsoever. And I made it pretty well. I didn't make it very far at all. I was able to reach two of the linking books from the main hub world and then didn't know what to do at that point. So I ended up looking that up real quick. But I improved. I didn't look at very many hints comparatively. Uh, and I wasn't really in that much of a hurry to get through it either. But I stand by this game being a really good focused kind of side story. It does kind of progress the overall mythos, but I could see where you might want to skip it. Like it didn't feel as grandiose.
I guess. Okay. I have not gone far into that game because I haven't beat Riven yet, but I just wanted to look at it to see what it was like, and I played maybe the first 45 minutes of it. It has aged very well. It's gorgeous.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's very, very, very good presentation there. And oh gosh. You know what? Myst is. I don't want to do another episode on Myst. We've done like 4 episodes on Myst.
I know. Well, there's 5 Myst games, and I'm playing Myst 4 right now.
Okay, we'll come back to that though. So, recommend?
Absolutely. I think everyone should try it. It's on Good Old Games. Like I said, I'm not sure where else it is, but it's definitely a reasonable price. It's on Xbox.
Myst 3.
Yeah, like the original Xbox.
Yeah, I think it's the original Xbox.
Is that one of the games that you can play on the Xbox Series X?
I'm not sure.
So many X's.
There's a lot of
S's.
The Xbox Triple X.
Yikes.
For adults.
It's not like BMX Triple X. Oh, Myst 3 is 50% off right now, actually.
There you go.
$7.49 out of $15.
Use the promo code VinkDance for nothing to happen.
There is no promo code.
There's no.
Oh, 2001 it says. I thought this was 1999. What was I thinking? Oh, 2001 is claiming. Yeah. So that was the last year I played this. But this is the only game I believe that Presto did out of the series, because I think Cyan took their system, took their development stuff and made the 4th game. But anywho, so what do you have? Do you have?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
4th game had a trouble development, but that's another story.
Oh,
anyway.
that would be good to. Yeah, all right. I'll figure that out after I play it, and so it won't taint my.
They needed
experience.
Some crunch.
Ooh, no.
Bad take. Okay.
My only complaint about Myst 4 so far is that Atris won't shut up in like the beginning of the game. It's like, yeah, I know I'm not used to someone like looking over my shoulder and telling me I'm doing it wrong. No wonder his sons rebelled. Anyway.
Blue pages. Okay.
Anyway. So what do you have a pile of shame or future retro for us this week?
I mean, okay. I do, but before this goes, I can't let the Xenoblade bashing that's going on in the comments go unchecked. Xenoblade is a fantastic series, and yes, Xenoblade 1 is probably the better one story wise and things like that. But Xenoblade 2 has a fantastic battle system, and that's all I got to say. Xenoblade Chronicles X is also really good and incredibly underappreciated. It's too bad that, you know what? That's one that could have used some more time in the oven. Could have used a bit of crunch. Okay, no.
Sir, how could you?
Oh, I know. Anyway, my game today is one that you're familiar with from a recent stream of yours. It's Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Ooh, Navy SEALs. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh, you didn't play the Deluxe one. You played the regular one. But
yes, I don't have any DLC for my bare bones version. It's true.
I mean, there's not much to it. The main story is what you're going to want to play anyway, and the side things are fun, but they're completely unnecessary.
Sure.
I love Pikmin 3. It was a game I bought when I bought my Wii U at launch, and I played through the whole thing with my kids who were quite young at the time. I think I actually really only saw her as the one who would know even what was going on at the time. But just loved it. Just a magical game, and I rebought it. I don't usually do that again with games that I have played, and beat within the last few years, but I mean, I bought it primarily so I wouldn't have to hook up the Wii U again. No, that's not the reason. It's um the Switch version doesn't really add all that much, but it's like such a great game that it's sad that it was trapped on the Wii U that no one played.
Oh no.
It's unfortunate because now if you haven't played this game, if you've never played a Pikmin game, just like I didn't know what a Pikmin game was. Pikmin 3 is my first Pikmin game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Pikmin 3 is only my second Pikmin game, so I kind of feel you, but not really. That's pretty good. Okay, yeah. Tell me your thoughts, because I'm very curious now.
Exactly know what a Pikmin game was going to be, and I did not know it was a real-time strategy game. I thought it was like, I don't know, platformer or something. It's like you got but it's wonderful. It's a management game. It it's you've got to especially Pikmin 3, because now you're controlling 3 different characters at the same time. So you can break your Pikmin into squads and have them do different tasks, move around. You're fighting enemies, you're building up, you're gathering resources, you're building bridges, it's but it's so charming, but it is also devastating. Because you're gonna lose Pikmin as the game goes. You're gonna lose a lot of Pikmin.
Yeah.
This game is surprisingly violent. And
just like you might lose developers while you make a game.
And when I'm playing it, my kids are heartbroken. If I've left Pikmin on the field when the day ends. Basically what Pikmin is you go on the surface of a planet. You are space explorers looking for fruit and juice. And you go to a planet which is obviously Earth, but they call it let's see, PNF 404, which is a nice little joke right there.
What? Explain it to me. Do I get it? I don't think I get it.
Well, it's like if you've loaded a website and there's nothing there, it's a 404 error.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right.
But anyway, yeah. So you're going to this planet. You're looking for fruit to bring back to your own starving civilization, and you come there. There's these life forms there that are the Pikmin, and they've each got different abilities depending on their color. Some of them can swim, some of them can fly, some of them can conduct electricity. Some are good fighters who have fire resistance, and yeah, it's just like the different units from any real-time strategy game. Planet not found. Yes. And it's beautiful. Okay, whenever we get a new piece of fruit, my daughter has to take the controller for a while and rotate it around and go like, "Whoa!"
That's nice.
Just my kids just watch me. This is their reward. If they do all their homework, they're ready for school, they've got their baths taken, they can watch me play Pikmin 3. What a wonderful situation this is for me. I get them to do their homework, and then I get to play Pikmin 3.
Right.
Although actually, my middle daughter is interested in doing the co-op.
Okay.
So we've been doing that a little bit, because when the oldest daughter isn't there, because we can't play the story unless everybody's there. That's the rule.
How does the co-op work with the Switch?
It's very interesting. You just have, it's a split screen, and one of them plays, you each play the main character, and the one that you aren't comes out as like a ghost on the other person's screen. It's basically I don't know. It's not cooperative that much, but like, it's one person's obviously leading what's going on. And but you can send like, okay, why don't you take the yellow Pikmin right now and knock down that electric fence, and I'll go get the fruit over here. You can.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
because you can split your party up, but like, if you don't have like a Wii U controller, I don't see how that would work otherwise. So yeah, it is interesting. Okay.
So I mean, it's a little. I liked the Wii U controller. You could put people. You could go to the map right away. It's nice. You have to press the select button and choose your place now. It's a little more awkward, but it's not terrible. But it's just got such a charming little story. But again, we are like my kids, when the daylight is running out, they're freaking out. They're like,
Oh,
you
no.
gotta get the Pikmin back, they're gonna get eaten. And it's like, and there's like, and I've left one of them who like finished knocking down a bridge, and he's just there, and the timer's already going, do and my daughter's like, he's gonna die, and I'm like, it's so, and we're just having a blast. If you've got,
awesome.
but the thing is, it's it's an absolutely wonderful game, and it's not particularly challenging because the game has, basically, if you run out of fruit, your game is over. But as long as you're making a little bit of progress every day, you're never going to get anywhere close to a game over. So but you want to get as much done during a day as you can. So you might push yourself, and you might lose a lot of Pikmin trying to get greedy. You know what I mean? Like, you could play it safe and it would be a really easy game. So there's challenge. And again, this is my second time through it. And when I get done, I'm probably going to play through it again to see if I can get through it in a shorter number of days, or complete, or get all the fruit. If you haven't played this game, I recommend it. And what's interesting is the deluxe version has already outsold the Wii U version.
Well, I'm not surprised. That's not surprising whatsoever.
By a large margin.
Yeah, no, that's not surprising whatsoever.
And it's already outsold it by 3 times. And that's wonderful, because the Pikmin series was basically done after that disastrous 3DS platformer.
Oh, is that what that? Okay, because I made some comments in the Discord that there were really 4 Pikmin games, because I mentioned Pikmin Adventure for Nintendo Land, and then someone posted a picture of the 3DS game. So I was like, I should try that. Now it sounds like I shouldn't try that.
Give it a show if you can find it cheap, but it never was made in big quantities, so it's not that great, but it's also not that cheap. So
okay, all right.
Like,
well, all right.
I saw a copy. My kids were like, Dad, can we get this? It's $40. And I'm like, no, we can't. Let's. But what we're gonna do is, I've got my my old GameCube broke, which is sad. Got a lot of use out of it over the years, so I picked up one of these.
Nice, you got the orange spice one. Nice. There's one behind me, right? One of these hands.
I got it for like $12.
Oh my gosh!
Because there's no controllers and no cords, but I've got them from the other GameCube, so it's So anyway, I'm gonna pick up the first 2 Pikmin games, and we're gonna play through those after we're done with Pikmin 3, because it's definitely a sequel, because they refer to things that happened in the previous Pikmin game.
Right, you're not playing as Olimar in this game, to my understanding, right? So yeah.
But I'm excited to replay. And the thing is, because this game's doing so well, the series has a future now.
Well, that's good.
That's really important. So, like, I mean, they already were, so now Pikmin 4 is, it's already kind of been announced.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything from it, but I bet it's going to get the budget it needs now, because it's a viable franchise, So, but oh man, everybody play this game. Just play it on the Wii U or play it on the Switch. You're not really gaining too much on the Switch. It looks a little better. It loads a little quicker, but it's essentially the same game on the Wii U. And wherever you played, it's super fun.
Does the Switch version have a stylus mode?
It does not. Oh wait,
it might.
It might have a touchscreen mode in handheld. I don't know.
Interesting. No, the reason I asked was because when I booted it up, I had like all this stuff come up about the brand new stylus mode that was actually going to be the default going forward. So I hadn't even played the game since like that patch came out. That's how long it had been. Wow. So yeah, that's so good. The first Pikmin game, this was a pretty big improvement, because you only had like 30 days to get everything done, which was kind of annoying. I didn't play the second one though, so I couldn't really compare it.
So there's 6 Pikmin games then. Okay. So we've got
6. Yeah.
we've got the 3 mainline Pikmin. Then
Yep.
we got
Yep.
that
Yep.
3DS one, and then you
Okay.
got your part of Nintendo Land.
Yep. That's
And then
6. 5. Yep.
you've got your favorite one, the Wii to Wii U system transfer.
That's right.
It was Pikmin, right? That was all Pikmin, right?
I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna drop that video.
Drop that in there.
Oh, good
All right.
Lord. Yeah. So speaking of crunch and video game prices going down and stuff, I didn't buy Pikmin 2 because or the GameCube version of Twilight Princess because I thought, oh, I'll just wait for it to go down in price. And I think like 5 years ago, I went I went to pre-played and like Pikmin 2 was still like $50. So
well, Chibi Robo, which you picked up for me pretty cheap back in the day, that's going for over 100 now.
oh Lord, of course it is.
Yep.
I need to add this without it making noise at me.
Okay.
That was a WandaVision ad. I was going to drop this in the chat here.
All right. So if you've got a little bit of time, I'd say we could answer a couple questions.
Sure. Yeah, let's do some Denshimail.
Denshimail.
I saw one. There's one I grabbed from the Discord, but there was one way up here.
Okay. Pop it on screen.
That's it's gone.
What?
Darn. Yeah, the chat in StreamYard here only goes back to 10 o'clock.
Oh.
So I forgot who was asking. Oh God, I can't remember what the question was.
Sounds like a good question.
Lord, it was a question for me about if I had done something. Oh Lord. Well, if you're still here, person who asked the question, can you remind me? I'll just do the Discord one. So here we go from Kanacha.
Okay.
Due to COVID-19, there are a number of conventions that have been postponed or canceled. Some have said they may never return. What do you? Oh, I wasn't able to get the whole thing in there. Let me grab the whole thing. What do you think the landscape for cons will be in a post-COVID world?
That's a great question. That is a fantastic question. I would say that this is going to be disastrous for a lot of the professional cons because they've got to keep staff employed. But I'd say a lot of the fan cons should be able to recover from it.
Right. Yeah.
Like a convention that's not the main thing that they do. If I think for example, the convention we were involved with, No Brand Con,
right there. I wore this for that reason. Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
I designed this logo. Even it's based on the Lupin the Third logo.
Yep. I suggested that.
Yes. He did.
Which is so much harder than art. I have an idea.
Good idea. Let's do it.
Write me a screenplay about it. Okay. That's the easy part. I'm the idea man. Anyway. Gosh. For one thing, it's hard for me to even imagine a convention the way conventions were done before, just because of I'm just seeing these images of tons of people packed into lines waiting. I think that to get to that point, we're a while away from that, if ever, at this point. But I think. And I don't know how many people would be interested in a masked up, socially distanced con. Personally, I'd rather just wait.
All right.
Obviously this has affected my plans for VinkCon. Which is the reason why people have been asking, of course.
Yeah.
Like the one guy, will we see VinkCon? You know what? I should do it. And even though it's only me and in my house, I'm still going to do it over Zoom.
That's awesome.
Set up computers in different rooms and run between them.
Vinnk. Yeah. Vinnk. I can go to VinkCon now because it's virtual.
You could go to VinkCon. Oh my goodness.
I haven't been to MagFest in so many years, and that's a whole story. Yeah. Like MagFest is still happening, but there was a whole leadership shakeup there recently.
Yeah. But man, I would love to go to. I would love to. I'd love to see humans again.
right?
I mean, I like my inanimate objects. Believe me, I do. I do. I surround myself by them.
Humans have, a certain place in my heart as well.
But I would like to talk with the humans.
Yeah.
So, socially distanced basketball. Yes, yes.
Oh, that's
one of the rooms will just have the basketball next to a giant bucket of hand sanitizer.
we're gonna crowdsource this thing. This is great.
Oh my goodness. Let's do it as a crowdsourced project. Yeah, let's get everybody involved. People can host panels. Oh, this will be fun. Let's do VinkCon.
All right, let's do VinkCon. Oh, this is
VinkCon. Okay.
I think you're right. I think the really big ones that have already gone virtual, like I see Wizard World stuff in my inbox all the time. They're going to be fine. I think, even though that company filed for bankruptcy, I thought. So that's kind of wild that they're doing okay. But yeah, the smaller volunteer only orgs are probably going to survive this just okay, because they don't need to spend their money on anything, right? Like they might have to pay for storage of equipment and stuff, but apart from that, there's like no assets, no physical location they have to pay for if they don't hold the convention. That if they got out of their contract last year, they're okay.
On salary, so they can, that's the main thing that's gonna put a company down. What are you smiling at?
This comment.
Let's do VinkCon. This is secretly the best announcement of 2021. Yes, you heard it here first. I'm excited. Oh my gosh,
I love this. This is great.
Okay, John, later we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna make a plan. We're gonna make a plan. We're gonna have guests. I wonder if I could get Tiffany Grant.
Oh, you could totally get Tiffany Grant.
Probably get Tiffany.
You could absolutely get Tiffany Grant.
I don't know. Yes. Yeah. She sent me a Christmas card.
Our big sister Tiffany.
Yep. All she'd have to do is tell the story about the time about the time we drove her to Minneapolis at breakneck speed.
The last time I saw her was at the Nerd and Tie Expo in 2016. In fact, I was reminiscing about the hotel where that was held, because it got torn down later that year. But that's also where I got to meet cool people like Linkara and his Viga, his then fiance and now wife, and Helena Black, and those were the 4 guests. So that was everyone. Yeah. Felicia Day is still cool. Yeah. I met Felicia Day. Whatever. A lot of people did, because it was a line and I paid to meet her. So
time most people. Okay.
Snuck her a Famicom Dojo DVD. I'm sure it went right in the trash.
Yeah. Oh, you've made a DVD, huh? It's like that scene in Scott Pilgrim where the Amazon package comes and immediately goes. By the way, Scott. Why am I not talking about the Scott Pilgrim game? Okay, next time.
All right. There was another question in here. Hold on a second. No, I'll just talk about VinkCon and it's gone now. I just want to grab this one from Jody real quick. Okay. Last time I saw Jody was at Midwest Gaming Classic 2018, I think. Because 2019 is the last time I went, but that was with the Powett crew.
Oh, I'm gonna make Sean with me in the future Midwest Gaming Classic. Sushi on me next time. Oh,
when's the sushi place?
No. I know what Jody's talking about. I've seen this. I've seen this in movies. You see, Jody's gonna get naked, and then they're gonna put sushi on different parts of his body, and you're gonna eat it off of him with a bunch of businessmen, right? That's what Jody's talking about, right? Sushi is on me.
Yeah, I'll still do it.
Yeah.
Jody's earned it.
Yeah. I like how his reward is you being able to eat sushi off of him. All right.
Oh Lord.
The Ultrabox woman making a guest appearance. You never saw the Ultrabox stream, Sean. That's one of the best Vink streams. Where we played.
I didn't see the whole thing, but I have wholeheartedly embraced the emojis on the Discord.
Okay.
So
that's good.
They're the only ones I used.
Adventure game that's inexplicably in English, where you answer trivia questions about New York, and your name is Turbo Honda.
Can you get her?
What?
Can you get her?
I don't know. When the game was made in like 1990, she must have been in like her mid-20s, so she'd be in her 50s now, probably hoping no one's ever seen that game. You know what? I'll try.
Just try. Okay. That's all I need to hear.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions from the Discord?
I don't know. Discord people, now is your chance. It's your chance.
Yeah.
I know there were some good questions earlier that I didn't want to interrupt the conversation to go to. So yeah.
Darn it. I wish I could remember the question that was asked earlier. I didn't realize I was going to lose it. Oh yeah, Psycholavos, thank you. You did send me that portion of the Ultravox portion of the stream. Yep. Yeah, please do. That I would appreciate that. I'll actually like save it in a playlist this time so I don't lose it. Sweet. Cool. I guess if there are no more questions, then we can just do a little navel gazing before we end the show,
huh? When I was my age.
10 seconds ago.
My goodness. Oh, that was a good 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I don't know when. It's either going to be next weekend or the weekend after. I'm going to do a Neo Geo stream.
Oh, Trey would like that.
Yeah. So, no, Trey?
Not Neo Geo. What am I thinking?
He likes 3DO. He likes 3DO.
3DO. God, Lord.
But I'm going to do a Neo Geo stream because that's what I'm kind of promoting behind me, because I've got some common stuff and I've got a little bit of uncommon stuff too. So yeah. So if you're not subscribed to the Vinnk channel, you should, and hit that subscribe button and the bell thingy, because my streams are erratic. They're always, I said erratic. Don't worry. I made a mistake last time.
Not erotic.
They sometimes.
Oh.
Sometimes, but I'm gonna need a lot more than $2 tip for that.
Just the tip. Don't if you search for Famicom Dojo /Vinnk, you'll get some French guy. That's not the one. You want Famicom, or you want youtube.com/user/Vinnk. I'm not sure what the difference is, or what your actual, maybe it's because he took it out from under you. Maybe you have to like set up Famicom Vinnk or whatever. I don't know, but that's I dropped it in the chat there. Everyone subscribe to Vinnk.
Thank you. That would be helpful.
He needs those subs. He can't monetize until he gets to 1,000, and he needs
nowhere near. I think I'm not even. I don't think I'm even at 400 yet. But
you're over 500.
Am I?
I thought you were.
I don't know.
Am I? Yeah, I just dropped the link. 577. So I tried to pimp you last week, and
yeah.
So all of Vinnk streams are also pinned in the Famicom Dojo main page. There's a section for all of our live streams there, for the Dojo cast, for the Pile of Shame live stuff, and then I called it Den of Shame Live. I don't know if you like that name, but that's what it's called. Do you like that name?
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I've got, someone asked whether it's going to be a CD stream, a MVS, an AES. It's going to be AES. Hold on. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Just a
sure.
Just a second. Because this is the part that people love of the show.
Now it's my turn to make up a song about Vinnk while he's gone and say lewd things about him while he can't hear us. This is the time when I make up a song about Vinnk, and it's not very good, but I'm going to. Hi, Vinnk.
It's gonna be AES, and I specifically want to show some of the rarer ones, some of the late releases, like Metal Slug 4.
Ooh, yeah.
And especially Matra Melee, which we featured in one of the shows previously.
Melee,
which is one of the most. I think almost no one knows anything about this game. It was part of the Power Instinct series, and it was produced in such limited numbers and got so little arcade exposure that I think this game's worth it just for the soundtrack. It's amazing. But anyway, that's coming up. So subscribe if that sounds like something that's interesting to you. Ish.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we mentioned the other streams. I've been doing Pile of Shame live weekly for 6 weeks now, and I'm going to be going on the 7th one. So for half that time though, I've been playing Willow on NES, which the first time seemed okay, but in the last couple of weeks has seen fewer return viewers. So I'm hoping to finish the game at the end of this week, and then we will do something else.
Yep, I'm sure the 3 people who are waiting for the conclusion of this.
Literally only 3 people at a time last time. It was yeah. I
don't know.
It was fun though. I appreciate everyone who came. We always have so much fun.
Frankly, I mean, I don't do it for the number. Like, do it because it helps you get through games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't played this game in 30 years.
Wouldn't even play games anymore.
Yeah. I posted a picture, so I picked up Willow on Blu-ray because I thought in my limited research I didn't have access to it on streaming. Apparently it's on Disney Plus. Whoops. So and then I got criticized on Twitter for playing Willow on a Retron. Yeah. So, between those two things, that was just a major tweet fail today. I'm so ashamed of myself right now. Arugas, yes, Willow NES is incredibly good. I recommend that you go back and watch the other streams. I mean, they're pretty long, but they're all time stamped, so you can jump to parts if you're not like, this is getting kind of boring. You can go to a part that's interesting. There's 3 parts to it right now, as a matter of fact. So,
which part is interesting?
All of them. I think you should watch all 4.5 hours that are out there right now, personally. But I'm just one person, and I can only do so much. So. But no, we try really hard to get those time steps in there as fast as possible after it goes out there, and it's just a lot of fun. We'll do something new, probably a non-NES game next time, because NES is fun and all, but we did Wii U for a couple of weeks in a row. We did Pikmin 3, like Vinnk mentioned. We did Donkey Kong's Crash Course, which I'm not sure many people have played, but that was a ton of fun, and I would totally do it again if I got any better at it between last time and now, which I haven't, so I won't. No. But someday I might. There are other ones that I want to do, including I haven't played Maniac Mansion before, but that's also going to be a multi-parter. This Wizards and Warriors 3, I've never gotten past a certain point, so I really want to try. Base Wars, I forget the subtitle of that one. It's like futuristic robot baseball, but instead of when it's like a contested ball, like someone tries to get you out like on a line run, the robots fight. So it's nice. It's pretty wild. That was an Acclaim game, I believe. I'm not sure who developed it though. Those are all NES titles, but there are other things that I want to play. I'm going to put out a poll. And you guys, please feel free to inundate me with your requests, because I have all kinds of games and would be very happy to play just about anything. N64 and GameCube are going to be tough to stream, but anything older than that and anything newer than that should be okay.
Okay.
Sweet. Cyber Stadium series. Thank you, Satoshi Matrix.
There you go.
Yeah. Wizards and Warriors. So I have the trilogy, but I can't find the first. Here's Base Wars. I have them sitting here so I can easily stream them. But I have Wizards and Warriors 2 and 3 right here. But I have the first one somewhere, but it's not with the other ones. I'm not sure. I have a thumbnail for 3 done already, so that's where I'm going. But 3 is the biggest and most varied and the most interesting to me. But like all NES games, there's not really a good save system. So after a certain point, it's like, well, I'm not doing that again, and then you don't play it.
Yeah, that happens. Well, cool.
Konami? I'm sorry. The I thought Ultra was Activision, but Ultra was Konami. That's Konami. Okay. Yep. I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah. So I got one more thing to say. You got anything else, Vinnk?
I think that's about it. Just everybody stay safe. Probably things are going to be spiking in the US due to Super Bowl parties, so be careful.
Yeah.
And because I really want to go to Tokyo Game Show again.
Right.
So
right.
We all got to get it. We all got to work together on that.
I tried the virtual attendance on that one. It was Not nearly the same.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
even hardly.
Didn't even try.
Well, it was during your work day, right? So
Yep, that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, the last thing I'll mention is, we're still doing Future Retro Fall, even though
Yep.
it's the winter and soon to be the spring in about a month. We're working on a new Future Retro video.
Yes, we are.
And we're doing something special for our patrons on Patreon.
Yes.
We're gonna release in progress drafts. Like I show Vinnk these as we go. We'll show the more polished ones to you guys. Maybe not a lot, like maybe 2 or 3. There's one up right now for the intro that has to get redone, like because the audio is out of date now, and I want to redo it anyway. But I spent some time, hence the shaven face. I spent some time for a bit I had to do for the non-video game footage portion. And I'm pretty proud of it. It's so
amazing.
stupid.
It is
It's so
amazing
stupid.
what you'll do for a non-paid gig. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Hey, we make tens and tens of dollars.
That's true.
On these
That's
videos. Actually, no. The
Patreons, this is for you.
The Patreon support has been really great, which is why we're doing this now. We found a way to do the Dojo cast again. We're doing the Pile of Shame streams again. We're offering Zachi's t-shirts. Like
I'm not offering Zachi's t-shirts. I didn't. That was an unsuccessful project. I've gained weight since then.
Oh no! This was prior to the Ring Fit thing. I thought it wasn't it? It was one of your streams it came from. I thought.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, I would eat cheese on.
Yes, it was the cheese.
The cheese.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Anyway,
you can't expect me to remember what I say.
Oh well, I try. So yeah. If you're not a patron now, please consider joining. Like we say, $1 is better than an ad, and we want to get to a point where we don't have to run a lot of ads anymore. I've been taking out mid-roll ads on most things now because we just don't need them anymore, and it's been better, honestly. And then we'll have more videos. I'm not sure how many more exactly, but we got some old Pile of Shame stuff that we recorded and streamed. Behind the scenes Pile of Shame live stuff we're going to throw into the mix that's all edited and like 10 minutes long or less. So there's stuff we're going to do yet, but if Vinnk and I keep talking about doing the big stuff, like he was writing a script that I still want to see.
Oh, I didn't send you my draft.
No, you didn't send me the draft.
I worked on it this week actually.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Yes. It's I worry the scope is a little bit too much, and you're gonna have to stop at my house, my parents' house, to pick up some of the stuff that's gonna be in the video.
Sure. I haven't seen them post COVID, so I'll make sure to wear my mask.
I haven't seen anybody. I told them just to leave it outside the door,
Sure.
Although they got their first dose.
My in-laws haven't seen them either because they used to square dance together, but they haven't been doing that since this whole thing happened. Arugas, is that how I say your name? I might keep the hair. Actually, you know what? That cutting it was probably a good symbol that it's going to that the COVID's over. But I started growing out before the COVID started, so it's not really related. But anyway. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So again, we appreciate your support. If you would like to donate, please go to patreon.com/Famicom Dojo. See all the different rewards we have. We have t-shirts. We have season 1 DVDs. I keep saying we're probably going to try and do another DVD this year. And we're going to make the Pile of Shame live stream better with some new equipment. Sooner or later. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But cool beans. So yeah, I guess then until next time, the dojo is
organic, free range, and crunch free.
You had that prepared, didn't you?
What?
You had that prepared, didn't you?
I was preparing it for the last 30 seconds because I could tell you were about to wrap up, and I'm like, oh, I never know what I'm gonna say. But I mean, we are the opposite of crunch. People are like, why won't you guys crunch? Make some more videos, and we're like, no.
No, I do.
You crunch.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes when I get something out, I crunch, and much to my wife's chagrin.
Yeah, I will. And once you've been crunching for a while, you're like, think you can't delay anymore. I need it, and then I'll
I
spend the
know.
whole day. I'll spend the whole day filming, and then, yeah,
I
that's
feel bad, but it works.
no, you got it. Because if you're like, anytime within the next couple of months, I'll be like, okay, see you in a couple of months. So, yeah. Anyway, season 2. Yeah, season 2. Let's get that crunch going.
Yeah, we gotta film a couple of videos to finish season 2 yet. But my hair is graying. I can't make it seem like no time has passed anymore. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's a bit where I get punched in the nose, and then like the next scene after like the credits roll in, I'm like wearing a bandage. So it's like it's been 11 years since I got punched in the nose, you guys.
It should be healed by now.
Yeah, you would think. Recurring injury, maybe.
There are bits that we've filmed 4 episodes literally 15 years ago.
Yeah.
That vending machine sequence.
14.
That vending machine sequence.
Yeah.
Was
filmed. Did I still not use that? I meant to use it for something.
I do not think it's been used for anything. But I don't even recognize that young man anymore. So
yeah, I still have it though.
Oh, things that our audience doesn't know.
Yes. Good question, Satoshi. So there have been people who have been at the Dojo Disciple level for like over a year, and we should do something for you for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Well, if and when we do that video, the DVD, you're going to get one. So that's just baseline what's going to happen on top of whatever else we figure out. If you have a suggestion for us, that'd be great. Because we're trying to figure things out, but people are owed T-shirts from 2020 still who haven't gotten them, and so we need to get those out too.
Once the pandemic is over, we can probably just organize something where we all eat sushi off Jody Anthony.
Poor Jody. I'm sorry, yeah, Chris. It's almost over. Sorry you missed it, but it should be up. But I need to bounce.
All right,
but it's been fun, y'all.
Fun. All right, I will talk to you guys later, and yeah.
Oh, I get to do the cool end thing. This is part of the improvements. So, all right, later, kids.
Famicom Dojo.